The Love and Hip Hop Atlanta cameras were rolling when the unthinkable happened. Rasheeda snapped on Jasmine after a secret audio leak claimed Kirk was creeping again. What was supposed to be just another day on set turned into chaos when Rasheeda lost control and landed a shocking slap that had cast members screaming, producers panicking, and fans buzzing online. But the real drama? The audio that started it all might not be as fake-core as old-ass Kirk claims. The set of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta was meant to be another day of filming high-energy scenes and behind-the-scenes drama. But no one expected it to turn into an explosive showdown that fans would talk about for months. The cameras were rolling, but this time, even production wasn't ready for what unfolded when Rasheeda lost her cool and physically confronted Jasmine after a jaw-dropping audio recording surfaced online. The shocking leak set off a chain reaction that not only embarrassed Kirk, but nearly derailed the entire season's filming. It all started when whispers began circulating in Atlanta about a mysterious audio file floating around in group chats and on social media. At first, nobody knew if it was real or just another made-up rumor. But once the clip hit the blogs, there was no denying it was the real deal. The audio allegedly featured Jasmine talking to one of her close friends about a night she claimed to have spent with Kirk Frost. According to her, Kirk had slipped up again after years of being under fire for infidelity, and Jasmine made it clear in the clip that their situation wasn't over. Fans who heard the recording couldn't believe it. They immediately flooded Rasheeda's Instagram comments, tagging her, asking if she had heard it, and demanding she address the scandal. It wasn't just an attack on her marriage, it was an attack on the image Rasheeda had worked so hard to rebuild since Kirk's previous cheating scandals nearly ended their relationship. When Rasheeda first heard the audio, insiders say she was calm. She brushed it off as Jasmine trying to stir up drama and stay relevant on the show. But the more she listened, the more furious she became. The tone in Jasmine's voice, the details she gave, and the smugness with which she allegedly laughed about always being able to get Kirk's attention set Rasheeda on fire. By the time filming started for the next group scene, Rasheeda was ready for war. Cameras caught her pacing around, mumbling under her breath, clearly agitated. Kirk, who had already been briefed about the audio by producers, begged Rasheeda not to let Jasmine get under her skin. He insisted the audio was either old or completely fabricated. But Rasheeda wasn't trying to hear it. "Don't tell me to calm down when you are the one who put us in this mess in the first place," she snapped at Kirk, her voice shaking with anger. "You think I'm about to sit here, smile, and act like this ain't humiliating? Nah, I'm not doing it." The tension was thick even before Jasmine arrived on set. Other cast members whispered nervously, exchanging looks as they braced themselves for what was about to go down. Spice, who was there to film a separate scene, reportedly told producers, "Y'all better have security ready, 'cause Rasheeda ain't playing today." When Jasmine finally walked in, she carried herself like she knew exactly what she had done. Dressed head to toe in a bold red outfit, she strutted across the set, smiling at the cameras and making small talk like nothing had happened. It was the ultimate provocation. Rasheeda locked eyes with her instantly, and the room froze. "Don't sit down. Don't get comfortable," Rasheeda said sharply, standing up before Jasmine could even take her seat. "You really think you're slick, huh? Are you really out here running your mouth, bragging about being with my husband again?" Jasmine smirked, tilting her head like she wasn't fazed at all. "Girl, I don't know what you talking about. People are making stuff up all the time." "Oh, so now it's made up?" Rasheeda shot back. "That's your voice on that tape. Don't play with me." The cast held their breath as the two women squared off, their voices rising with every second. Kirk, clearly panicked, tried to step in and calm things down. "Babe, let's not do this here," he said, putting a hand on Rasheeda's shoulder. But Rasheeda shrugged him off. "Don't touch me, Kirk. Don't you dare touch me," she barked. her eyes still locked on Jasmine, and that's when it happened. Jasmine rolled her eyes and said under her breath, "Well, maybe if you handled your business at home, your man wouldn't keep coming back to me." The room exploded. Before anyone could react, Rasheeda lunged across the table and slapped Jasmine hard across the face. The sound echoed through the room, leaving everyone stunned. Jasmine stumbled back, holding her cheek, her expression shifting from smug to shocked in an instant. Security rushed in immediately, pulling Rasheeda away as she continued screaming, "Keep my marriage out your mouth. Stop trying to destroy what I built." Jasmine, still shaken, shouted back, "That's why he keeps coming back to me. You'll never be enough for him." The scene was chaotic, producers yelling for the cameras to keep rolling, cast members like Sierra and Bambi trying to hold Rasheeda back, and Kirk standing there looking completely helpless. It was one of the most raw and unfiltered moments in love and hip-hop history. What made the situation worse was Kirk's reaction, or lack of one. Instead of defending Rasheeda, he seemed more concerned with containing the situation for the cameras. Fans who later heard about the fight dragged him online, calling him out for being the root of the problem and then trying to act like a bystander. As for Rasheeda, stormed out of the set, yelling at producers, "Y'all knew what y'all was doing? You knew she was gonna try me." She refused to film the rest of the day, leaving Jasmine sitting there with security standing between her and the rest of the cast. Word of the slap spread like wildfire across social media before the episode even aired. Cast members leaked details to bloggers, and within hours, hashtags like hashtag RASHEEDAVs Jasmine and hashtag Kirk drama were trending. Fans were divided. Some cheered Rasheeda on for finally standing up for herself, while others said she gave Jasmine exactly what she wanted: attention and more screen time. The leaked audio had already caused damage, but the slap made it official. This season would be one of the most unforgettable yet. The tension on set only escalated after Rasheeda's slap landed. Jasmine clutched her cheek wide-eyed, not just from the sting but from the humiliation of being hit in front of cameras, crew, and fellow cast members. The room filled with gasps and nervous chatter while Kirk immediately lunged forward, grabbing Rasheeda's arms, trying to pull her back. "Chill, Rasheeda. Not like this, please," Kirk begged, his voice cracking with urgency. His tone wasn't just about stopping his wife from going too far, it carried the weight of knowing this moment would live forever once the episode aired. Jasmine, however, wasn't about to shrink away. She straightened herself up, wiped at her face, and spat out, "You think you can hit me and shut me up? No, Rasheeda, you can't silence me. Not when the truth is already out there." The crew scrambled to calm both women, but Rasheeda was locked in, her chest heaving as she yelled back, "Truth? What truth, Jasmine? All you do is make up lies and drag my family down. You're obsessed with ruining me, and I'm sick of it." The leaked audio had become the epicenter of their war. In it, a male voice, allegedly Kirk's, could be heard arranging a late-night meetup with Jasmine. The audio was grainy, but the tone, the inflection, the phrases used, it all sounded eerily familiar to anyone who had followed Kirk's past scandals. Even the crew, who usually stayed neutral, couldn't ignore the uncanny resemblance. Some whispered behind the cameras, "Man, that is Kirk's voice. He always says, you know what I mean, like that." Others were quick to defend, muttering, "Could be edited. You know how people splice things up these days?" Kirk, feeling the walls close in, took center stage to defend himself. "That's not me on that tape. I don't know who leaked it, but it's fake. They're trying to destroy me, destroy us." But Rasheeda wasn't buying it. She shoved his hand away when he tried to hold her arm again, eyes blazing with betrayal. "Don't you dare stand here and tell me it's fake when everyone in this room hears the same thing I do. You promised me after everything you put me through before that there wouldn't be any more lies. And now this." Her words struck hard because they cut deeper than anger. They dripped with heartbreak. The memory of Kirk's past infidelities, including Jasmine's involvement in those scandals, resurfaced like fresh wounds ripped open. Jasmine, sensing an opportunity, leaned into the moment. She crossed her arms and smirked bitterly, saying, "Oh, so now it's fake. Same story every time, Kirk. But we all know your voice. You can try to play your wife, but you can't play the world. Everyone's gonna hear that tape and they'll know the real you." This time, it wasn't just Rasheeda who snapped it was Kirk. For once, he wasn't angry at Jasmine, but at the situation spiraling out of control. "You think you're slick, Jasmine? You are always stirring drama, always. Chasing clout. But this is crossing the line. You're messing with my family." The set had descended into chaos. Producers rushed in to separate Rasheeda and Jasmine again, urging everyone to calm down. Security was already on standby, but Rasheeda kept breaking past, pointing at Jasmine with trembling hands. "You don't get it," Rasheeda screamed. "This woman destroyed my family once, and now she's trying to do it again. And you, Kirk, standing here acting like you don't know what's happening? That tape ain't some random edit. It's you, your words, your sneaky, lying ways. And I'm done being the fool for you." Her words stunned Kirk into silence. For the first time, it felt like Rasheeda wasn't just angry. She was ready to walk away. The audience watching from the monitors backstage fell into stunned silence too. Could this really be the final straw for Rasheeda and Kirk's long, turbulent marriage? Meanwhile, Jasmine doubled down. She pulled out her phone, scrolling quickly before holding it up. "Y'all think I'm lying? Here, I got the receipts. I didn't even plan to bring this out here. But since she wants to put her hands on me, let's go all the way." The room erupted in shouts as Jasmine played a longer clip from her phone. The audio now had more context and exchange between a woman and the alleged Kirk voice. The voice on the recording could be heard laughing, saying, "Rasheeda ain't gotta know. You already know what this is." Those words were enough to break Rasheeda's composure completely. She crumpled into a chair, clutching her chest as tears streamed down her face. It was like reliving her worst nightmare on repeat. Kirk, desperate, reached for the phone, but Jasmine yanked it away. "Don't touch me. You don't get to silence me again. The truth is out." Producers immediately tried to intervene, telling Jasmine to hand over the phone for review, but the damage was already done. Fans would eventually see this play out on TV, but in that room, in that moment, Rasheeda's world came crashing down once again. "You're a coward," she spat at Kirk, her voice trembling. "A coward who can't even own up to his mistakes. And Jasmine, you're just pathetic. Clinging to a man who never wanted you, never claimed you. Always be nothing more than his mistake." The insult landed hard, and Jasmine's smirk faltered. For the first time, she looked shaken, her confidence cracking under Rasheeda's fury. Still, the divide was clear. Rasheeda felt betrayed. Kirk scrambled to defend himself, and Jasmine thrived in the chaos she helped unleash as the scene wrapped, and producers called for a break. Whispers filled the air. Was this the end of Rasheeda and Kirk for real this time? Or would they once again sweep the dirt under the rug? The cameras may have stopped rolling. But the drama was only just beginning. The aftermath of that explosive set fight carried on long after the cameras stopped rolling. Rasheeda sat backstage, her makeup smudged, her breathing uneven. She wasn't just angry anymore. She looked broken. For years, she had endured the whispers, the shade, and even public humiliation over Kirk's mistakes. But this leaked audio reopened every wound she had tried so hard to close. Meanwhile, Jasmine strutted away from the scene, her head high, though inside she was rattled. For once, she felt like she had one. She had receipts, attention, and validation. But deep down, Jasmine knew the war she'd reignited wasn't just with Rasheeda, it was with the entire fan base, who had never truly forgiven her for her role in Kirk's cheating scandal. Kirk, caught in the middle, paced back and forth, running, his hands over his face. "This can't be happening," he muttered to himself. But it was. The tape was already circulating online, thanks to someone leaking the clip to a messy gossip page. Within minutes, hashtag Kirk cheating again started. Trending on Twitter. Fans were ruthless. Rasheeda deserves so much better. How many times does she gotta go through this? It's definitely Kirk's voice. He always gives himself away with that laugh. Jasmine is messy as hell, but if the audio's real, Kirk can't be mad at nobody but himself. The internet was eating it up, and Rasheeda knew that when the episode aired, her humiliation would be magnified 10 times over. Back on set, producers debated whether to cut the footage or let it roll. On one hand, it was pure reality TV gold. On the other, it risked pushing Rasheeda over the edge and damaging her long-standing relationship with the show. But Rasheeda made the decision for them when she stormed back in, pointing a trembling finger at the cameras. "You better not edit this out," she snapped. "Let the world see exactly what kind of man I've been dealing with all these years. Let them see the truth. I'm not covering for Kirk anymore." The declaration was chilling. Kirk froze, realizing that for the first time, Rasheeda wasn't defending him, wasn't sweeping his dirt under the rug, wasn't protecting the brand they'd built together. She was exposing him. Jasmine, never one to let a dramatic moment pass, added fuel to the fire. "Finally, you see what I've been saying all along? He's been lying to you, Rasheeda. He was lying to everybody. And you defending him made you look weak, but now you know I wasn't the crazy one." That jab made Rasheeda snap again. She lunged forward, but this time security blocked her. Still, she shouted past them, "Don't you ever think you're winning in this? You were never his choice. You were never his future. All you did was play yourself trying to destroy another woman's marriage." The intensity of her words shook Jasmine. For all her bravado, Jasmine wasn't expecting Rasheeda to come back swinging like that verbally this time, not physically. And though Rasheeda was on the verge of tears again, her voice carried strength. Kirk tried to intervene, but Rasheeda turned on him, her tone colder than ever. "You disgust me. You had the chance to prove you were different, and instead, you humiliated me again. I don't know if this marriage is even worth saving anymore. Maybe you and Jasmine belong together. Y'all deserve each other." The room fell into stunned silence. Chgak, young baby Tate, and other castmates who had been watching from the sidelines exchanged uneasy glances. They'd seen Rasheeda angry before, but never like this. This was finality. This was a woman who had reached her breaking point. Kirk's voice cracked as he pleaded, "Rasheeda, no, please don't do this. You know I love you. You know I would never." But she cut him off with one sentence that shook everyone. "Love without respect means nothing." The weight of that line echoed louder than any slap or argument. It was raw, it was real, and it pierced Kirk in a way no fight ever had. Meanwhile, Jasmine realized the tables were turning. Though she had exposed Kirk and ignited chaos, she was also now the villain again in the eyes of the audience. Social media began dragging her mercilessly. Jasmine is messy, clout-chasing, and evil. She doesn't care about anything but herself. She got her moment, but Rasheeda still came out stronger. Period. Jasmine can leak a million audios, but Rasheeda is the one fans will ride for. The more Jasmine pushed, the more people turned against her. Even producers began to wonder if giving her airtime was worth the backlash by the end of the night. Rasheeda left the set without Kirk, her head held high despite her tear-streaked face. Kirk followed her to the parking lot, but she wouldn't even look at him. She climbed into her car and drove off, leaving him standing in the dark alone. Backstage, Jasmine tried to play it cool, but she couldn't shake the sting of Rasheeda's words. For all her bravado, deep down she knew she had crossed a line she couldn't unsee. As news outlets picked up the story. One headline summed it up perfectly. Rasheeda snaps on Jasmine after secret audio leak, but walks away from Kirk instead. The storyline wasn't just about a slap anymore. It was about the possible end of Rasheeda and Kirk, a couple who had fought to keep their family and business together. Through scandal after scandal, fans were left asking, was this finally the breaking point? Or would Rasheeda, once again, forgive Kirk in the name of love and family? For now, the only certainty was that Love and Hip Hop had delivered one of its most explosive chapters yet. One that no amount of editing could ever soften. Wow, what a roller coaster! From Rasheeda finally snapping on Jasmine to that leaked audio turning the entire set upside down. And Kirk scrambling to keep his marriage intact. This might be one of the most explosive moments in Love and Hip Hop history. The slap may have stolen the spotlight. But let's be real, the real story here is the tape and the damage it's already caused. Rasheeda's words, "Love without respect means nothing," still linger. After years of holding Kirk down, through scandal after scandal, this could truly be the breaking point. And Jasmine. She might think she's winning with her so-called receipts, but the fans aren't letting her off the hook either. Social media has already crowned her the villain once again. And it's clear that no matter what, she'll always be tied to Kirk's mess. But here's the big question. What happens next? Will Rasheeda finally walk away from Kirk once and for all, or will she, like so many times before, choose to forgive in the name of family and history? And is Jasmine really done stirring the pot, or does she have even more secrets waiting to be revealed? Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think Rasheeda should give Kirk another chance, or is it time for her to move on for good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more wild Love and Hip Hop updates. You already know the drama never ends. Never ends.